Welcome to your weekend focus for March the 31st and April the 1st, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you, Tilly, for all of the positive. You want to know it wanted to turn over? Look, it didn't turn over, but it wanted to. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Nine of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Well, you know it's going to be a full moon reading when all this is happening. Okay, so Nine of Swords is really taking molehills and making them mountains, taking small things and growing them bigger than life, larger than life. And our worry and our fear builds up. We get apprehensive, anxieties come in, sleepless nights. So we have to be cautious of that kind of energy being around us because it tried to flip out, but what did flip out was the Queen of Cups. And so this is really about honoring yourself, believing in yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your value. It's going within and seeing your gifts, your talents, your passions, how to feel comfortable being the authentic you. Let's put that one back in. So did I say thank you? I always want to make sure I've thanked you because truly, all your love, all your support, all of the beautiful, strong, positive energy you send my way each and every day. Thank you, truly. So we have a full moon in Libra at 10 degrees. And what are full moons? Full moons are all about endings and healing, completion. The Hangman. Meditation, prayer, reflection. We want to bring in the balance when this card shows up. We need to look at our routines, our habits, the people in our life, the environments we put ourselves into, and make sure that we have the balance in each of those situations, in all situations. We're getting messages there too, so meditation, keep a dream journal for the weekend. Two of Swords, decisions to be made. It's going to take us on new journeys, new paths. Wheel of the Year. Look at that. 10 degrees of Libra, and we have the 10 card. Wheel of the Year. Telling us that we are moving into a new season. And the season that we're moving into right now is spring. New birth. Rebirth. New adventures. New excitement. That's where we are headed. So this full moon is this preparation time for us to really be able to plant those seeds come April 15th. Those new beginnings, those new starts, those new adventures. So we don't have to have it all figured out right now. But we do have to tap into our truest passions, our dreams, our desires, our goals. We have to understand what seeds we're buying at the market. We have to get the ground ready. So yes, we may have to remove some things. There might be rocks or twigs or old dead weeds. We may have to aerate the soil. We might have a few challenges or uncomfortable moments ahead of us. Right in the middle, too. Two of Pentacles. Two of Swords, and then the Two of Pentacles on the other side of the Wheel card. So we're making a strong decision or a commitment, and we have to figure out how to get it to work together. How we can bring in the harmony. Maybe we have to adjust our lifestyle or the people that we associate with, what we do and when we do it and how we do it and why we do it. Knight of Swords. I get the sense of the silver almost being spiritual here. Where do you want to go? How far do you want to go? Look at that horse. It's like it's shooting upwards in the clouds, that they're flying through the sky. And they're taking their dreams, their expectations of their tomorrow, their wins, their successes, their accomplishments, of what will be. Okay, so let's stop there. So we start off with the Hangman. Very powerful to have the Hangman here in the first position. So this is asking us to truly back it up a little bit. Put on the brakes. This isn't a time to take risks. That's for sure. We have a Mercury retrograde happening and it's a full moon. And full moons are not a time and a good energy to start anything new, to begin anything new, but to examine, to reflect, to investigate, to research, to understand what can truly bring in balance. Now, this full moon is in Libra, so it could have a lot to do with relationships and finding the balance in relationships, working as a team. And remember that the sun is in Aries, so we want that feeling of independence, that we can do it on our own. So the true balance is not leaning or depending on these people that we are associated with, being able to do it on our own, but accepting their love and support, their help, their aid, and working with their strengths to really bring in a new success that you couldn't have achieved on your own. So if you look for the numerology, we have March is the 3 energy, right? Third month. So that's the Empress. And that's new life, new beginnings, new starts, creativity, imagination, intuition, birth, rebirth. And the 4 energy from 31. 31 is the 5 of Wands in tarot. So that would be that we need the cooperation, that we have to, there's a disconnect somehow in truly working together as one, working together as one, not as a team or working as one unit going forward. So tapping into each other's energies, using each other's strengths, win-win situations. And then we have from 2018 the 11, which is our strong commitment. Our commitment to ourselves, our passions, our dreams, our goals, and working diligently. Taking the longer route. Not looking for the quick fix or the band-aid. And if you add that all together, it's the 18, which is the moon card. So that's about going within, dreaming, tapping into the true sense of who you are. Your inner passions, your dreams, your desires, your values, your wants. And if we take that 18 and we boil it down even further, it's the 9, which is the Hermit. And that's just like the Hangman of going within. Here, so much we're not really making the definite, we're not coming out of the cave yet here. This weekend is all about meditation and reflection. So we start with the Hangman. Why don't we just keep that card right up there? I see the bird before I see anything when I look at this card. So definitely pay attention to your intuition. Definitely allow yourself some time for reflection or prayer, meditation. Have a conversation seemingly with yourself. Ask where you have this balance between your independence and a group situation, family, friends, work colleagues. And also how to use your gifts, your talents, your abilities. And truly work towards your dreams and your passions. These cards really look more like a total release rather than even looking towards the future, but we do have the Wheel of the Year. So we have to make sure that we are giving those affirmations, those positive affirmations. We have to be very cautious of negative self-talk, of focusing on the negative, of letting things get under our skin. We have a lot of hard energy in the sky, more than I can name. Okay, it's hard energy, so we may get very easily frustrated. You know, Two of Swords. I almost get that as a sense of self-protection and making that commitment to yourself, allowing the new beginning. Look at the landscape is all muted. The new day is dawning. The new beginning can be had. And so how do you need to protect yourself going forward? How do you need to set new boundaries? And it could be from your own bad habits. It could be from an outer environment, a person, a situation. So what do you need to change? What do you need to let go of? Where do you need to state an ending? And we're blindfolded, so we have to look within. We have to look at our wisdom. We have to take in our wisdom and our intuition and blend them as one and work them at the same time. This is a hard decision to make, but it's one that brings in a safety or a firm foundation under your feet. So where do you feel that you have to put up a wall to protect yourself, or you know, an imaginary wall, of course, to keep yourself safe, out of harm's way? You know, maybe it's a certain person at work, and every time you start talking about this, they just like fly off the handle. Or maybe when you're in certain environments, you get claustrophobic. You don't want this many people around you. Honor your intuition. Honor your wisdom, telling you that you need more space. And how do you create that in your world? How do you bring that energy in? A lot of thinking to do with that card. First, we're following the Hangman, especially. We have the Wheel of the Year, and we are moving into spring. So know that your cup will be overflowing sooner than you think. You're coming out of your winter. The ground is thawing. The first signs of life are showing up. The birds start singing. The air smells different. You open up all your windows just to let that fresh air in and get rid of the stale air. So think about your spring. Think about your happiness, your joy. Okay? Slow it down. Unplug a little bit, okay? This is what this moon is asking us to do between the moon card and the hermit, is asking us to slow it down, to go within, to tap into our wants and our needs, not to just push forward for the hope of something changing. We don't want our spring to be too much rain or not enough or too cold. We want to be able to get our seeds in the ground. Two of Pentacles, how do we get the balance in? How do we maintain that balance? How do we have the right harmony intact? So this could be a lot about looking at our relationships and how we are interwoven with each other, how we work together, and how we seem to be at odds. This could be the balance between your career life and your home life. Or maybe it's your health and well-being over something else. And I think life is almost like a juggle these days with all the responsibilities and obligations. And so it can be overwhelming. So it's bringing things back into perspective. It's bringing things back into balance. So even though this card is usually an outward, I get more of an inward. There's some kind of healing that can truly happen in your life this weekend. Inside, if you look at what truly doesn't bring you balance, where the imbalance is, you'll get that revelation, that epiphany of how to move it forward in the right direction. Maybe it's setting new boundaries. Maybe it's putting completion on something. Knight of Swords is all about dreaming big. Pay attention to the messages that come in. Weekend journal, absolutely. It looks like that, I got the image that that horse was flying through the clouds. That failure is not even in our vocabulary, or it shouldn't be. And we should be imagining our dreams, our goals, our desires as being already there. We just have to step into them. We just have to do the walk. This is for, once I get that impossible, making the impossible possible. Believing in yourself. Believing that you can get on a silver horse and dress yourself in silver armor and fly through the air, yelling charge. Going after your dreams, your desires. What fuels your passion? What makes you excited and happy and joyful, and you want to get things done? It's not a job, it's not work. It's love and passion and joy and well-being. And so how do you create that in your life? How do you bring that in? What are some of your happiest moments? What was a time in your life when you just couldn't wait until you could get back at doing whatever it was you were doing, or being with whoever it was? Is it inner healing that is needed? Is it broadening your expectations of what you can do? Because you know you can do better, you know you can give a little bit more. That's the 11 energy. So it's a strong weekend for us, a strong weekend to contemplate, understand where you're trying. I keep wanting to say you're going to be making this decision, but then I constantly get this protection. So where do you protect yourself in life? Where do you, turn off the anger or the frustration and kind of shut yourself out from things? And pay attention to that. Because what you want to do is you want to use, those negative emotions, our fuel for the fire for us. It's when we're backed into a corner and we have to go forward that we go forward. So we need to utilize that energy in a positive way to move forward. Let's get an affirmation card here. The Emperor shows up. The Emperor is one of our strongest intuitives and strongest diplomats in the deck. Following the rules right now is exactly what I should be doing. People in authority come to my aid and give me good advice when I ask for it. I can have the strong confidence that this card suggests. Dealings with institutions like banks, governments, or schools are also highlighted at this time, so it's authority. The Emperor is owning your own authority of your values, your dreams, your goals, of what makes you you. So, owning your authority. And do it. Like, this lion sits there. It doesn't really look like a threat, although we know the lion could be a threat. But it's asking us to step up to the plate. He's asking us to state he's holding the sword there so strongly. So he's asking us to make a commitment to ourselves of how to go forward. And, this lion doesn't have to show how ferocious it can be. We know it because we know it. We've seen the lion roar. We've seen the lion run. We've seen the lion tackle. We know our own abilities. We know the lion would win. It leads with an authority. The Five of Earth. Some of these cards are so muted. Alternative forms of abundance. The illusion of lack. Overlooked treasures. Here we go. All is not as it seems. All is not as it seems. So this is a time to look again. A change in perception can bring into focus the results I sought, just in a different form than expected. I am called to move away from poverty consciousness and open my eyes to the treasures before me that are suddenly illuminated. The illusion of wealth gives way to true abundance. There is no need to fear that the rug will be pulled out from under me. What we draw attention to grows, so I count my blessings and realize I have far more than I thought. I have come far in my quest for building up what I need, and even more opportunities for experiencing abundance awaits. So we kept having the gratitude card all week leading up to this pretty well. I think we only missed a day or two of the gratitude card not showing up. So not is all as it seems. And so, we need to unplug. We need to stop buying into the rat race that we are currently in, of the obligations and the responsibilities and living up to other people's expectations and pushing ours down. And yes, we have to do that to some degree because we just can't simply run away and change our identity, just start anew. But we need to unplug so that we can understand where the balance is, where we don't sell ourselves short, where we don't think that the rug will be pulled out from under our feet again. that we kick ourselves to the curb, that we disillusion ourselves with the lack of thinking. You don't have the job you want. You don't drive the car you want. You don't live in the place that you want. You're not with the right group, the right people. You don't like your job. You don't have this. You don't have the money in the bank. You don't have the friends that you want. You're not having the adventure that you want. And so we start looking at the things that we don't have in our life, and we start projecting this lack of. And it keeps us poverty based. It truly does. Now start thinking about what you can have going forward. And really pay attention to what you already have. You have gifts and talents that nobody can take away from you. So start utilizing them. Overlooked treasures. You are that overlooked treasure. And start understanding that you are. And you fill in the blank. Beautiful, strong, courageous, loving, caring, compassionate, joyful, happy, grounded, healthy, wealthy, wise. One more. The Three of Earth. I'm getting grounded here, people. Five of Earth and the Three of Earth. And we'll go back a page. And it's teamwork. It's building on solid foundations, group efforts, dedicated collaboration. So the Five of Earth is starting to understand our own independence and the beauty of who we are. And here we are also asking for that true balance of working with people. What I am building is grounded in a solid foundation, so I know I can trust that it will not slip away suddenly. I am joined by others in coordinated efforts to bring forth what we have chosen to co-create. The architecture of my dreams is becoming tangible, taking shape before me. I share my joy and pride with my partners and supporters. Teachers and students, we are all learning, growing, and building collaboratively. So where is the balance between who you are independently and how you work as a team to really create that true success in order to the architect of my dreams are becoming tangible? Because you're allowing people in that can help you, and they're allowing you in to help them. You're working together, co-creating. So where do you need to reach out for that more or pull away from? It's finding the balance. Let's get an animal card, and yes, we will do a Journey of Love card as well, because it is a moon. So maybe it's a little bit of unplugging so that you can understand how to get a new pace for yourself, a new pattern for yourself of how you can, yes, join the world and where you need to join, and join with a beauty, a harmony, but yet not depend on that, their success being your success. Where do you stand in your independence? The beauty of who you are. Stand up for yourself. The flamingos. Wrong book. The flamingos. Power, visionary, heart chakra, assertiveness, water, healing. Every time you don't follow your inner guidance, you feel a loss of energy, loss of power, a sense of spiritual deadness. The color pink on the flamingo is symbolic of the love and the heart chakra. Flamingo's legs are wiry but strong, and flamingo tells you that you are in matters of the heart, you are much stronger than you give yourself credit. It's now time for you to stand up for yourself with your head held high. You don't have to hurt anyone's feelings, however. You have hurt yourself or allowed others to hurt you long enough. Now it is time to allow yourself to heal by being assertive and speaking your needs and concerns. You can do it verbally or write it down, but know that you have the power as long as you name yourself the master of it. If you are going through something tough, reach out to your friends and family, but know that you have the ability to stand on your own two legs and survive after the dust has cleared. The energy of your life may be shaking, and it's causing people to act irrational, hide, scream, cry, and some are even exiting your life. Then there are the ones who are entering your life and helping with the future life game plan. Well, that kind of wraps up the reading, doesn't it? Know that you have the power. Know that you are strong. And find that balance. If you need people, reach out to people. We can all learn from each other as much as we can teach each other. And it should always be a two-way street. And we'll get a Journey of Love card. So it's going to be an intense weekend when it comes to, just be grounded here. We don't have a lot of cards telling us to be grounded, to think things through. We have the Hangman. To protect ourselves, the Two of Swords. I get that self-protection. And there's the beautiful Wheel of the Year card there. And if you take the 10 and you boil it down, we got the Magician. So your wish will come true. Believe it. Commit to it. It'll be there for you. Heart of God, number 9. Number 9, just like the Hermit. There's that 9 energy that, that's endings, that's completions. 9 is all about that, but 9 is also preparing for the new beginning. So we're completing, we're putting endings on things. We're allowing healing in our life so that we are ready to go forward in new paths. That's the magic of the 9. When souls are touched with love sublime, the hearts unleash the wonder found, a promise made somewhere in time of words that speak without a sound. In gratitude we transcend space and bless the gifts we can now keep of thoughts, caress, in soft embrace, and eyes allowed in joy to weep. The moment's song that we compose will leave this life with no regret, and carry forth what we impose, to chart again a course once set. For what we have is ours to own, each breath a step we measure sweet. Together now we wait alone, and walk in peace, our hearts complete. I'm sorry, but I do need a sip of water. I'm talking. We're getting like very dry, so I apologize. I hate that. You are a part of something profound. You are a part of something profound. A divine calling and a privilege. It is the role of the Inspiratrix. Really? Okay, upon earth, the women and men who have hearts capable of bliss. I'm going to look that word up. I've never had this card before, obviously. Bliss is, I don't use these cards too much, just for moons, actually. Bliss is what we feel when we let God in. The heart opens and we cannot speak for the sensation of it. It cannot be described. Great hearts can tolerate mystery. They can bear the enormity of the divine bliss. beyond analyst and description, and simply be. You don't have anything to do with it, you see. To be the inspiration is to have a heart open to the divine. It's a life calling. Your heart is an inspirational force to be loved, recognized, and protected for the precious catalyst of divine awakening that it is. Be led by your heart. God is in it, speaking through it, calling you forth to love. And the love that flows through your heart filters out through your toes, dripping on those beneath you as stars falling from heaven. This oracle holds a message for you, direct from the divine. You have a sacred purpose to fulfill upon this earth, and it's all sorted out. The situation, this issue, this awakening that you seek and are living even now is held lovingly in the hands of the divine creator. The creator says to you, leave it with me. It's all unfolding in perfection. I am alive in your heart. I am your heart. Well, that's strong. So, stop the worrying, stop the anxiety, stop the stresses. Know that it's awaiting for you. Dream it, believe it, expect it. Step into it, one day at a time. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself to live up to everybody's expectations except for your own. Back it up this weekend. Take a look inside. Tap into the beauty of who you are and expect to go forward with a great success. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.